everybody, I'm Allison. Thank you for joining me for Where I'm From 213 with Alma. Um, I read If You Love It, Let It Kill You by Hannah Pittard. It's autofiction, and I had read her memoir. I'm looking for the name of, because I'm not good at remembering. Oh, and it's not listed in her bio, but I had read her memoir, and then I read this, and they're related, and I enjoy her writing, and this book was like that. And um, one, hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Lower my seat here because I can't see my head. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny with the framing. Yeah. Anyway, I get it. But you're doing great. Sometimes people it's facing the wrong way, and like so, you're ahead of the game. Um,
Yeah,
how?
I've done a few lives, so
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
kind of
Yeah.
used to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people it's their first. How? You're in Puerto Rico, right?
Yes.
How is it there? Is it nice?
Hot. It's hot.
Hot? Yeah. Tropical.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, I'm so glad that we were able to meet up and that Adrian Ernesto introduced us. So thank you if you're
Yeah,
listening,
he's so
Adrian.
cool. He's so
Yeah,
nice.
he is really joyful.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, anything that you want to share before you read your poem?
Oh, so we're just gonna jump right into it. I didn't.
I mean, we can chat if you want, but lots of times people do jump right into it because they want to get it over with. So it really depends on the person.
Um.
Do you want
Okay.
do you want to talk about your experience writing it before you read it? Because that's mine too. It's whatever you prefer.
Well, no, it's okay. I can get into it. It's just I wasn't exactly ready, but
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
ready.
if you want to talk, we can. It's totally fine. A lot of people are a little nervous and they just want to be done. Um,
I mean,
but
I don't write all my poems to be spoken out loud. Like
okay,
some people are more spoken word artists, as well as poets. Like they're more of a combo.
yeah.
And I do that sometimes, but not. I don't recite all of them.
Hmm.
And I didn't necessarily write this one to
Mm,
be read out loud,
hmm.
but I don't have a problem reciting it. It's here goes. Okay.
Okay.
No soy de aquí ni soy de allá. Soy de aquí y soy de allá. I heard an old song by Facundo Cabral say la da da la da da da. No soy de aquí ni soy de allá. Translated it in my head, I am not from here or there. And my heart responded, yo soy de aquí y soy de allá. I am from here and I am from there. From where? The sun rests at 0 degrees of latitude from where the sky roars in the voice of my ancestors, from where the breeze braids the voices of my mother and her mother's mother before her into my hair, from where the river Chone flows from the mountains to the sea, to Bahia, to the Pacific waters of her womb. Ecuador, the land of my mother, my ancestors, and the sand where I was born, from where the night does not sleep on account of approximately 19 million stars shining together, constellations from all across the globe, on account of a lady with a torch, and an old poem by Emma Lazarus about yearning, about freedom. New York City, my city of dreams and nightmares, the city that raised me, the city that gave me the courage to take oaths in her defense and the defense of this nation, from where the frogs sing in the voice of the heart of a people, where more shades of green exist than you could imagine, where the sea rocks your soul to sleep, where the moon is my mommy again, my Lula, where the old fisherman rows his boat, cranks out old stories beneath the blanket of her light. Puerto Rico, the land of my foster parents who did not get to return to her, and where I live now. And I am also from everywhere in the world. I have loved every community that has dug its talons into my flesh that has wormed its spirit from my eye sockets to that beating thing in our chest because we all are, or I think we are. I feel we are. That's what my heart tells me anyway. No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá. Soy de aquí y soy de allá. Well, thank
Thank
you.
you. That was beautiful. I, as the, I've done a few of these, and it's interesting. People who've lived in multiple places or have a complicated answer to the question, "Where are you from?" I'm always touched by the sort of reckoning with that question, and what a beautiful meditation on it. To be from all of these places, I think that would be the ideal for me, is that we take these places and we are able to hold them within us and they hold us as well.
Yeah, I love that. I also think that it's the case for so many of us too. Like,
Yeah.
even if we stay in one region or one area all our lives, even if we stay in the same town all our lives, a lot of us can feel like, oh, we're from a different time. We're from a different time period. We're from everything changes so quickly, and you know, I've seen poems like that too. Like I'm like being a millennial, or you know, how much times have changed throughout. And I feel like specifically millennials have had like a huge, like been through like a huge shift from you know I don't think I got a cell phone till I was 18 or 19, and then now it's just like the norm of every day. And
Yeah.
I remember one time in my 20s, I was like, one time in my 20s, I said, why do I have to have a cell phone every day? Why do I have to have a cell phone with me now? Now I have to carry this thing around. Now I'm a prisoner to this thing.
For sure.
Oh, because someone was calling me and they were like, you didn't pick up your phone. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who has their phone on them at all times?
Yeah.
And now, like, we can't even fathom, like, not,
Yeah.
like, it's like a requirement. Yeah. So it's like a
Yeah.
totally different, you could even see that as being like from a different place, from a different time.
Yeah. And it's a time you can't really go back. I mean, my husband and I joke about it because I
Mm.
said something similar to you, what you said one
Yeah.
time, and someone said to me, like, you have to have your phone with you all the time. You have
Yeah.
to pick up every phone call if you
Yeah.
ever want to work in this
Yeah.
business, which was movie and television. And I was like, oh, then maybe I'm not gonna make it.
It's like no, and it's like for everything now. It's not in one business. It's in
Yeah.
every single like you can't just be without your phone nowadays. Yeah.
No, but I still have that feeling of like, oh, I don't know if I can make it because I just like don't.
Right.
I I just
Yeah.
I don't want that to be making it where you have this kind of that you can never turn it off.
Yeah.
Not just the
Yeah.
phone, but life. Like it's I am struck by and always moved by the details of the natural world in people's poems because I think it feeds all of us so much, whether we think it does or not. And yeah, sometimes I just want to be with that, and
Yeah, like with your own thoughts. I
yeah,
remember I
yeah,
used to go out and have to find a payphone, and it's like
yeah,
that was kind of different. It was so different. It's such a weird it's just such an odd change that if you didn't grow up with it, and then it especially as a millennial, if it hit you right at adulthood and you're like, is this it? You know?
right, right. Is this the I'm sure
Yeah.
you've seen that meme that's like it asks like what's the biggest lie you were told or you thought when you were a child, and it's like that being an adult is good. Being an adult is
Correct.
like the thing to want to be because
Yeah.
it's a little bit more than I think. I mean, it is good. I am very happy to
Yeah.
have like some control of my life. Obviously, not all of it, but that is worth all the other stuff for me.
The
Um,
freedom. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but so did you write this poem for this, or you wrote this poem and then you were like, oh, this is a good fit? Because if you did write it
No,
for something else, it's a really good
no,
fit.
I wrote it specifically for this.
Okay. Okay. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so I wrote it specifically for this, and it's odd because I have written a few poems. I've written some poems about. So a lot of my poems involve like where I'm from because
Mm-hmm.
I'm an immigrant. I grew up in New York City. I've traveled around a lot because I was in the military. So
Right.
it's kind of strange. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be a person that has never moved around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that bleeds into quite a bit of my work. But so I did have some poems that would talk about like Ecuador or where I was born, or would talk about my mother. Um, but this one specifically I made for because I've never really I've been asked that question a lot
Sure.
in normal life, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
where are you from?
Mm-hmm.
I've been asked a lot, what are you? Is what
Yes,
I was is what people usually ask.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
What
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Particularly a lot
what
of
are
brown
you?
people. It's like
Yeah, what
that.
are
People
you?
really
Yeah.
want to know and put you in your little box. Like,
Mm,
okay, check.
right, right. And it's a little weird because
That's
when you're
weird.
like mixed race or mixed
Yeah.
culture or mixed ethnicity,
Yeah.
it's very hard to, put you in one box. But
Yeah.
so I've gotten that one a lot. I've gotten what are you a lot. And that has gone in, like, that idea has kind of gone into the poems a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never, oddly enough, never written a poem that was specifically where am I from.
I thought it was gorgeous. I loved the framing using the song and how you responded to the song to say, well, actually, I'm from all these places, not anywhere, and not nowhere. And so did you hear the song and that was the catalyst for writing the poem, or what was it like writing the poem?
So when I go to write a poem, a lot of times something will pop into my head like a tune,
Mhm.
like or it could be an old song, or it could be just like I don't know if it's musicality or I just do that. I get some sort of tune in my head, and so I thought of that song
Mhm.
immediately because, and that's just how my brain works. So I thought of that song immediately, and I put it on, and I was
Mhm.
like, okay, and then like I could do it, like
Mhm.
I had the idea of where to go with it.
Mhm. Yeah, I really appreciated too you talking about your ancestors and being from Ecuador, even though I don't know how old you were when you left. You seem like you were very young.
Yeah, it was two.
Yeah. Yeah, and acknowledging how a place lives in us,
Yeah.
that it is like it's that idea of that seven generations, that they talk about you live somewhere to become like a keeper and a carer of that place. And that even though you were only two, it still speaks
So
to
yeah,
you.
so I was two, but my mother's whole family was over there,
Yeah,
and so yeah, my grandparents until
yeah.
they passed away, and so I would speak to them over the phone and everything. So it
Were
was
you able
just
to visit?
they visited us actually
Hmm.
when,
Hmm.
well, not my grandparents, but my family from over
Hmm.
there visited
Hmm.
us. Yeah, because
Yeah,
back then, this is another thing, and I have written about this one a little bit. Um, Back then, I was a resident alien.
yeah. Hmm. So you
So
couldn't go back.
that's an immigration thing,
Yeah,
and so I couldn't really
yeah.
just do.
Sure. I live in Southern California, so there are lots of people who can't go back
Yeah,
to where they've.
I had this weird status that was like
Yeah, yeah,
it was a family reunification status,
yeah.
and yeah, so I grew up knowing a lot about immigration too, and my mother was
Yes.
doing her stuff, and so it was just a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, it is a lot of stuff for sure. They don't make it easy. Um,
Yeah.
or comfortable. Like
Yeah, yeah. So like with everything that's going on now,
yeah,
I tell people I remember in the 90s when I was growing up, that there were ice raids too. So
yeah,
this kind of is a cyclical thing where I mean
yeah.
not just from the history, like from knowing the history of it, but from living through it. So back in the 90s when I was a kid, they had raids, and so I wasn't like vulnerable necessarily because I had a resident alien card or
Hmm.
whatever, but I knew a lot of people that were vulnerable, and so
For
we
sure.
would always know, like, don't open the door to
Hmm.
to these people, and don't tell anybody, don't talk to them, don't tell them where anyone is, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a cyclical thing right now. I feel like it's particularly like it's particularly bad right now.
Yes.
Um, and I'm trying to. I sometimes I try to think, was it this bad when I was a kid, or what
Yeah.
is it worse now than when I was a kid, or is it exactly the same, or is it like just more noticeable?
Hmm.
Because it's more, it's
Hmm.
being recorded now. We can record it and
Yeah.
everything. So and the thing is, I don't know, because I was
Yeah.
so small. I was a child,
Hmm.
but even as a child, I knew, like,
Hmm.
they're taking people. Don't tell, don't
Hmm.
don't give them information.
Yeah.
And it was scary too, being afraid of losing
Of
friends
course.
and community members and stuff. So um but yeah, I remember it. I remember it very well. The raids when I was a kid too.
Yes. I think obviously it's intended to terrify and scar and not
Yeah, it
give.
destabilizes the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. I mean
Definitely.
that's
Yeah.
what it's meant to do. And I my kid goes to a school that is a majority um Latino, and I've
Mhm.
been gratified with like how much there is with community education and knowing your rights and the school trying
Yeah.
to protect the kids, but obviously you can't protect them all
Yeah.
the time. And yeah, I mean, a lot of,
I feel like schools in a lot of communities will do a lot. I feel like I was very grateful for a lot
yeah,
of my counselors and
yeah,
and librarians and stuff like that. And a lot of my teachers. I also know that there are like community, like all of our community services that are not necessarily funded by the government.
yeah,
There's very often just locally funded
yeah,
or community funded. Those organizations also help a lot, and so I feel like that's where people get the most education, and then just like word of mouth and each other, protecting each other. Um,
and now there's apps and there's social media, which is definitely different with the landscape of knowing where
It's very
people are
different.
at,
It's very
you know.
different. It's very
Yeah,
different. It's like I'm happy to know, like, to be able to see what's going on. I think one of the most important things is for people that are not in the community to at least be aware of what is going on,
yeah,
so we can protect each other as citizens and as a nation. But I think that part of it for me is like the fear of like cybersecurity and all that kind of stuff, because I also worked a little bit in that, and so
mm-hmm.
cybersecurity and all that kind of stuff with relation to apps and uh, the the security of those apps and what information they can take
Mm-hmm.
from your devices and stuff like that. I think that's something to be wary
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, agreed.
nowadays.
I mean, it's all just like, yes, correct. So when you were talking about New York City, you said the place of dreams and nightmares. Were you alluding to this sort of, or was it just a general feeling, or because I found the poem very overall, very positive.
Oh, so yeah, so yeah, I
You
always
know?
call New York City my city of dreams and nightmares
Oh,
because
okay.
because everyone says the city of dreams or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and I'm like, city of dreams and nightmares though.
yeah,
If you lived in the city, if you live in New York City, you know that there's like there's so much. So I grew up with this situation going on with the
yeah.
immigration. I grew up with poverty too. I grew up
Mhm.
with an abusive dad, and so
I'm
like,
sorry.
and then there was so much. There was all my life there, all my friends, all my people,
Yeah,
my community. I grew up with a beautiful, like, absolutely wonderful communities, and so
yeah.
and I that was the first place I went to university and everything
Mm-hmm.
too. So I graduated from Towson, but I went to St.
Oh, you
Francis
went to
College.
Towson. One of my good friends went to
You
Towson, so I
did?
have a soft. No, I
Oh,
didn't. One of my good friends did, so I have a soft spot. She's from Maryland, so
yeah.
she went to Towson,
Towson
and
Tigers. Woo.
she loved it. And
I love it. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's not a school a lot of people know about, but she
It's a
and her
lovely
husband went
school.
there. Yeah, she
It's a
loved
lovely
it.
school.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah, so I went to St. Francis College first. So,
okay.
but I was really, I love that school too. So,
That's a special thing to love your schools.
yeah,
I
we
mean,
were.
I love schools in general and educators because they give a gift. It's a wonderful
Yeah,
thing to
I'm
be
gonna give a
educated.
shout out to all the
Yeah.
professors because my
Yeah.
professors really made it worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so anything else that you want to discuss or mention, or because I know we're close to wrapping up, so I wanted to give you an opportunity if there's anything else you want to share.
No, that's good.
Okay. And I
I was
just don't want
gonna.
people to feel like when I say bye, they're like, wait a minute. And then I work on. So,
Oh, oh,
if there's anything, please go ahead.
I'll plug my books.
Yes, yes, that's what I was sort of.
These are two of my books. A Conjuring of Dandelions
Beautiful.
and My Split Tongue. This one
Mhm.
is multilingual, actually.
Mhm.
And there's some Spanish, some Portuguese,
Portuguese. Mhm.
a little bit. There's one in French in here, and there's also one in Quichua. So
Oh.
if you guys want to check
Oh,
that
right,
out.
because that is spoken in Ecuador as well, right? Not just
Yeah,
Peru.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, and Bolivia, right? It's sort of in the.
So there's a few variations,
Okay,
but the Quichua with the K is from Ecuador. Yeah.
okay, okay. So do you speak all of those languages?
Yeah. I
I'm
grew up, and I
impressed.
speak Italian too. I grew up
I'm impressed. I
speaking
love
Italian.
languages and I have studied different ones, but I wouldn't say I speak any of them, but I still just enjoy the experience of
Yeah, it's
words.
hard because like you have to like really
Use it.
keep practicing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to keep practicing them,
Yeah.
or you'll start feeling like not
Oh,
confident
for sure.
when you
Yes.
speak. But but I grew up with many. I grew up with Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. So it's a little bit different when you grow up with them because they're kind of
Yes.
stuck in there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Even just growing up in Southern California, Spanish is sort of just around. Like, even if you're not speaking it, there's just familiarity with because you're hearing it
Yeah.
constantly and it just feels kind of like, and we used to be Mexico. So, I mean, it feels very like part
Yeah.
of the place.
Yeah, I was stationed in El Paso, Texas for a while,
Oh,
and I
yeah, there
loved it.
too.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
community is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the movie One Battle After Another, but a bunch of it
No,
is
I
set in
haven't.
El Paso and it's about like the border and part of it is about border and immigration and I was like, oh, this feels like San Diego as well. The sort of
Oh,
same,
okay.
the
The
same
community
sort
is
of
great. Yeah.
vibes. Yeah. Yes, but El Paso is
I love
probably.
Texas. That's another one that's, I mean, I'm not from Texas, but I
Yeah.
lived there and I just felt like, oh, I love Texas, you know?
Oh, that's nice. I
Yeah.
mean, especially in this environment, I think it's nice to be able to love lots of places. Um,
Yeah, I feel like we always have to remember that, like, regardless of whatever politics is going on, um, I think what we always stand up for and what we always feel connected to is our communities. And so, on the community level, I have never felt, you know, I have never felt disconnected from a community that I go to. Like I feel like
mhm.
on the community level, I feel there's so much humanity and there's so much love and there's so much good. And I think
Yeah.
that's what we fight for, and that's what we have to keep fighting for. We can't give up on our communities. We're not red or blue states. We're communities. We're communities of people, and I think that's what we have to remember all the time.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's difficult let's bring it all the way back to the beginning with phones. Um, because on your phone, it's easy to forget those things. And I have to remind myself pretty regularly to put it down and engage with actual people in my
Hmm.
community because I feel uplifted when I
Yeah.
engage with people. Um, and I am reminded pretty much every time how much good there is. in
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and in community. And
I think one of the most important things to me, like I was just recently in Louisiana and Georgia. I was going through. I was recently in Georgia, and then before that, I took a trip out to Galveston and to Houston and Louisiana, and it's just it's so much love and it's so much humanity, so much community, and it's us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I have always wanted to, that's what I have always felt the urge to defend, uh us being united and being together and understanding each other and actually seeing each other and being able to be in that joy and not be in this this divisive rhetoric that's what it's lucrative for who.
yes, it's always about follow the money for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Divisiveness is a great business model
Yeah.
for a lot of people. Yeah.
I know because actually what I studied in St. Francis was political science.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I left the political science space because I was like, I don't want to be in that space. Not
Yeah.
necessarily,
Yeah.
but I do understand it, and it's just it's painful to see our communities become like our nation become so divided off of rhetoric that does not serve the majority of us. You
That's
know.
right. Yes,
And so
absolutely.
I think that I try to keep a little clear headed and try to understand that everyone is going through it and is working their way through that rhetoric too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, I have my strong feelings about things when they are too hurtful. When communities are starting to get hurt, when people are starting to get hurt, when children are starting to get hurt, it's very hard to stay. It's very hard to understand. It's very hard to take it. But I think I always have hope that we'll pull through as a as a as a nation. I always have that hope. You know.
I think, yeah, I mean, for me, I have to have the hope, and hope is a
Yeah.
revolutionary act. And I think when we give up hope, I mean, and I think there are people who would like us to do. So I feel like, oh, I'm holding on to this, and each day I'm acting with holding this, and that
Yeah.
feels like one of the most important things I can do.
Yeah, and hope, and then we have to keep having these conversations and keep seeing each other
Yes.
and seeing each other face to face, so that when we don't see a face, I don't see you and see fear. You don't see me and you don't see fear. If we keep having conversations and seeing each other, maybe we can get back to a space where we're you know less divided and less violent.
Yeah. 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 Where we care for one another. I feel like care is something we've not given the attention it deserves.
Yeah.
You know, like it's important to care about other people. And I think,
Yeah. Right.
you know,
I
I
think,
know it
yes.
sounds
It
really
makes us,
basic.
now we have to say it nowadays. We have to say it. Like, you should actually care about each other, a little bit, just a little.
It's like feels obvious and yet so yeah. Well, thank you that for joining me and sharing your poem. I really I loved it. So I appreciate you taking the time and I'm so glad we got to meet. So,
Thank you for having me,
yeah.
and it was so nice to talk with you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye.